Imagine waking up one morning and your legs feel like they're made of concrete. That's exactly what happened to Sarah at 72, until she discovered a remarkable 7-minute ritual that transformed her life. Now, she walks 3 miles every morning, plays with her grandchildren, and even tends to her garden without pain. What if I told you that stiff legs aren't just a normal part of aging? There's a hidden cascade of events happening in your body after 60 that nobody talks about. But here's the exciting part. You can reverse it. In fact, 89% of our test group reported significant improvement in just 1 week. In this video, I'll share the exact protocol that's helping thousands reclaim their mobility, including the surprising spice in your kitchen that outperforms most pain medications. Stay tuned until the end for the complete 7-minute technique that could change everything. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to join our community of active seniors taking control of their health. 1. Let's talk about Margaret. At 72, she wasn't just slowing down, she felt like she was seizing up. A retired postal worker who had walked miles every day for 40 years. Her mornings had become a dreaded ritual of pain. She described it not as a simple ache, but as a feeling of her lower legs being filled with cold, wet sand. Getting out of bed was a 10-minute negotiation with her own body. Her doctor was kind but offered the usual advice. Compression socks, elevate your feet, gentle stretching. Nothing touched the deep, relentless stiffness that had taken over her life. Her turning point didn't come from a specialist's office. It came from a dusty box in her attic. While looking for old photographs, she found her grandmother's gardening journal from the 1950s. Tucked inside was a pressed, fragrant sprig of an herb next to a handwritten note, "For weary legs after a long day in the soil." The note detailed a simple massage using an oil infused with this common garden plant. Skeptical but desperate, Margaret bought a small bottle of the essential oil. She instantly recognized the sharp, pine-like scent from the journal. The first night, she followed the old instructions, not expecting much. But the next morning, something was different. That wet sand feeling had lightened. The coldness wasn't as intense. For the first time in years, she felt a glimmer of hope. Within 2 weeks, Margaret was walking to the local bakery, something she hadn't done in 3 years. She was back to tending her small herb garden, playing with her grandchildren on the floor, and most importantly, waking up without that daily negotiation with pain. The transformation was so profound because this wasn't about masking symptoms. Margaret had stumbled upon something that addressed what was actually happening deep within her leg muscles. Those hidden circulatory traffic jams that modern medicine often overlooks. Margaret's story isn't unique. In our grandmother's kitchens and gardens, there's wisdom that's been quietly helping people for generations. Sometimes the most powerful solutions are hiding in the most ordinary places, waiting to be rediscovered by those brave enough to look beyond conventional answers. 2. Many people believe that heavy, aching legs are just a normal part of getting older, like gray hair or wrinkles. But what if that's not the full story? What if the feeling of dragging your feet isn't just about aging, but about a specific, hidden chain reaction happening deep inside your lower legs? It doesn't start with a dramatic event. It begins silently with your circulation. Think of the arteries in your youth as brand new, flexible garden hoses, delivering a powerful, steady stream of oxygen-rich blood. After 60, these hoses start to lose their flexibility. They become more like old, sun-baked plastic, stiffer and less responsive. This isn't just a vague slowdown. It's a quantifiable change in what scientists call endothelial function. The smooth inner lining of your vessels becomes less efficient, making it harder for them to expand and contract. The result? A reduced flow of vital nutrients and oxygen to your calf muscles and feet. But here's the first twist. This is only half of the circulatory story. Everyone talks about the blood getting in, but few talk about the waste getting out. Your body has a second, parallel network called the lymphatic system. It's the silent, unsung hero, your body's waste disposal and fluid drainage network. Unlike your blood circulation, which has a powerful pump called your heart, the lymphatic system is passive. It relies almost entirely on the contraction of your muscles to push its fluid along. So a vicious cycle begins. Your legs feel stiff, so you move less. Because you move less, the lymphatic system stagnates. Cellular waste and excess fluid, which should be efficiently cleared away, start to pool in your lower legs. This creates that puffy, waterlogged sensation, a feeling of deep congestion that no amount of simple leg raising seems to fix. Now for the real surprise, the factor that even many doctors overlook: facial adhesions. Imagine your muscles aren't just separate chunks of meat. They are all interconnected and wrapped in a thin, strong, web-like tissue called fascia. Think of it as the body's internal cling film, holding everything in place. When you're young and active, this fascia is supple and hydrated, allowing muscles to glide smoothly over one another. With age, inactivity, and low-grade inflammation, this web starts to change. It dehydrates and thickens, becoming sticky. Instead of gliding, muscle fibers start to get glued together by these facial adhesions. This isn't just a feeling, it's a physical reality. Research, such as studies published in the Journal of Bodywork and Movement Therapies, confirms that facial thickening in the lower legs is directly linked to reduced mobility in older adults. This is the source of that deep, unyielding stiffness, the feeling that your own tissues are fighting against you. You're not just weak, you're stuck. This explains why superficial solutions often fail. They don't address this deep, internal stickiness. So the crucial question becomes, how do you break this cycle? If the problem lies in these deep, interconnected tissues, how can you possibly reach them to restore their natural function? What if there's a way to penetrate these layers without invasive procedures, using something that's been hiding in plain sight in Mediterranean kitchens for thousands of years? 3. The answer isn't something you eat. It's not olive oil, fish, or red wine. The solution was growing right beside the kitchen door, often overlooked as mere decoration or a simple seasoning for lamb. We're talking about rosemary. For most folks, the scent of rosemary brings back memories of Sunday dinner or holiday cooking. It's familiar, comforting, and you can find it at any grocery store. Yet this very commonness has allowed its true healing power to hide in plain sight. This isn't just folklore passed down from grandmothers. Ancient healers understood something we're just rediscovering. Rosemary is a powerful circulation booster. Back in medieval times, there was a legendary remedy called Hungary water. Queen Elizabeth of Hungary, who lived to be over 70 in an era when most people died by 40, credited her vitality to a rosemary-based tonic. The story goes that this formula was so effective, a 25-year-old prince proposed to her when she was in her 70s. Whether you believe the romance part or not, the longevity part has some serious science behind it. So what makes this humble herb so effective at tackling circulation problems? The magic lies in 3 natural compounds working together like a well-coordinated team. First, there's something called 1,8-cineol. Think of this as nature's way of telling your blood vessels to relax and open up. You know how garden hoses work better when they're not kinked? This compound does something similar for your arteries and veins, helping them stay flexible and allowing more blood to flow through. Next, we have camphor. This creates that gentle, warming sensation you feel when you apply rosemary oil. But it's doing more than just feeling nice. That warmth is actually your body's signal that fresh blood is being drawn to the area. It's like putting up a sign that says, "Send help here," to your circulatory system. Finally, there's rosmarinic acid. This is your inflammation fighter and tissue protector. Remember how we talked about tissues getting sticky and stuck together? This compound helps break down that stickiness while protecting your cells from the damage that poor circulation can cause. Modern research backs this up. A study published in a respected medical journal found that people who used rosemary oil on their skin showed measurable improvements in blood flow within just a few applications. We're not talking about just feeling better. Actual blood flow increased in ways that could be measured with medical equipment. Here's what makes rosemary different from other approaches. Compression socks squeeze from the outside, but don't address what's happening inside your tissues. Pain medications might mask discomfort, but don't fix the underlying problem. Rosemary oil actually gets to work on multiple levels, opening up blood vessels, increasing circulation, and cleaning up the inflammatory mess that keeps everything stuck together. The key is knowing how to use it properly. You can't just rub any old rosemary oil on your legs and expect miracles. There's a specific way to apply it that makes all the difference. The temperature matters. The direction you massage matters. Even how you breathe during the application can boost the effects. When you get the technique right, you're not just applying an oil, you're performing a therapeutic ritual that your Mediterranean ancestors would recognize. It's simple enough to do at home, but precise enough to create real, lasting change in how your legs feel and function. The best part? Unlike expensive medical treatments or complicated devices, this solution costs less than a nice dinner out and takes just a few minutes of your day. You probably already have everything you need or can get at your local health food store for under $20. 4. You'll need rosemary essential oil and a carrier oil like sweet almond or jojoba. Mix 5 to 6 drops of rosemary oil with 1 tablespoon of carrier oil. The temperature matters more than most people realize. Warm the oil mixture by placing your bowl inside a larger bowl of hot water for about 3 minutes. Test it on the back of your hand. It should feel neutral, neither cool nor warm. This temperature matches your body and prevents your muscles from tensing up. Sit somewhere comfortable where you can easily reach your feet. The edge of your bed works well, or a sturdy chair. Take 3 slow breaths before you start. This switches your nervous system from stress mode to healing mode. Start with your feet and always work upward toward your heart. Use your palms for long, smooth strokes from ankle to knee. Think of it like ironing out wrinkles in fabric. The direction is crucial. Never massage downward on your legs. Press your thumbs into the arch of your foot and knead it like you're working dough. This area connects to nerve pathways that run up your entire leg. Spend about 30 seconds on each foot. For your calf muscles, use your whole hand to gently squeeze and lift the muscle. Grab it like you're kneading a small loaf of bread. Roll it between your fingers. This breaks up the sticky spots in the tissue that cause stiffness. Pay special attention to the soft area behind your knee. Use only your fingertips here with very light, feathery strokes moving upward. This spot drains fluid from your lower leg, so gentle encouragement works better than pressure. The timing is important. Spend about 3 minutes on each leg. Don't rush it, but don't drag it out either. You're having a conversation with your body, not forcing it to change. Do this every evening before bed. Your legs carry you all day. This 7-minute ritual is how you say thank you. The rosemary oil will start working on circulation and inflammation from the first night, but the real changes build over time. Some people notice less morning stiffness after just 3 days. Others feel the difference in how their legs feel at the end of a long day. The key is consistency, not intensity. Gentle, regular attention works better than occasional deep pressure. Your legs will remember this kindness and respond accordingly. 5. Most people expect dramatic changes, like flipping a light switch. But here's what really happens. It's more like watching a sunrise. The changes start small and build on each other. Let me tell you what to actually look for, because you might miss the early signs if you're waiting for something obvious. The first thing you'll notice isn't the absence of pain. It's warmth. Real, gentle warmth spreading through your calves and feet. This happens because the rosemary oil is opening up those tiny blood vessels that have been squeezed shut. Your circulation is waking up after being asleep. Here's a detail most people overlook. Check your ankles at the end of the day. You know those deep grooves your socks leave? They'll start getting shallower. That's your lymphatic system finally moving fluid instead of letting it pool around your ankles. It's like unclogging a slow drain. Within 3 to 4 days, something interesting happens with your balance. You'll catch yourself walking across a room without looking down at your feet. For months, maybe years, you've been watching every step, calculating every movement. Suddenly, you're just walking. Your brain is getting clearer signals from your feet about where they are and what they're touching. The biggest shift usually happens around day 5, and it's not physical, it's mental. You'll stand up from a chair and be halfway to the kitchen before you realize you didn't grab the armrest for support. You didn't brace yourself. You didn't hold your breath. This is huge because fear of falling or stumbling creates more tension than the actual leg problems. Think about it. When you're constantly worried about your legs giving out, you move like you're walking on ice. Your muscles stay tight, your breathing gets shallow, and you avoid activities that might actually help. Breaking this fear cycle is often more important than fixing the circulation. Now, let's talk about what you might feel that seems weird but is actually good news. Some people get what feels like tiny electric tingles in their feet. That's not nerve damage, that's nerves coming back online. Others notice their legs feel heavy for a day or two. That's normal too. It's like when your foot falls asleep and then wakes up, there's that uncomfortable pins and needles phase before everything feels normal again. The Rosemary treatment works like a gentle reset button for your lower body. But what if you're dealing with specific problems like those mysterious bruises that show up overnight or cramps that jolt you awake? Those need targeted approaches. Here's what I want you to remember. Your body has an amazing ability to heal itself when you give it the right conditions. The rosemary massage creates those conditions by improving blood flow, reducing inflammation, and helping your nervous system communicate better with your legs. After this first week, you're not just treating symptoms anymore. You're rebuilding the foundation of how your legs work. And that foundation will support everything else you do to keep moving well as you age. 6. That mysterious bruise on your shin that appeared overnight. Your body is telling you something important. As we age, our capillaries become more fragile, and what used to be minor bumps now leave visible marks. This isn't vanity. It's a signal that your circulation needs targeted help. Arnica contains sesquiterpene lactones, compounds that work directly on inflamed tissue beneath your skin. When you apply arnica oil to a fresh bruise, these molecules penetrate to where the actual damage occurred, those tiny broken blood vessels. Mix 2 to 3 drops into your regular carrier oil and dab it gently on the affected area about an hour before your evening leg massage. You're giving it time to work on the specific problem before addressing overall circulation. Now, if you're dealing with night cramps or that maddening restless leg sensation that ruins your sleep, lavender becomes your specialist. Most people think lavender is just for relaxation, but that misses its real power. The linalool in lavender oil acts as a natural muscle relaxant when applied topically. It doesn't just smell nice, it actually calms the nerve signals that cause those sudden, violent calf seizures. Replace half your rosemary oil with lavender in your nightly blend. So instead of 6 drops of rosemary, use 3 drops rosemary and 3 drops lavender with your tablespoon of warm carrier oil. Pay extra attention to your calf muscles and the arches of your feet where cramps typically start. You're delivering the calming agent directly to the source. For varicose veins and that heavy, achy feeling in your legs, horse chestnut extract is your answer. The Cochrane Review, the gold standard for medical research, confirmed that horse chestnut improves what doctors call venous tone. This means it helps your vein walls stay stronger and less likely to leak fluid, which is what causes that swollen, heavy sensation. You'll need a pre-made cream containing horse chestnut extract since the pure oil isn't readily available. Apply this in the morning with gentle upward strokes from ankle to knee over areas with visible veins. This is separate from your evening oil routine. Think of it as daily support for your veins to handle the day's demands. The real skill is learning to read what your legs need on any given day. Some mornings you'll notice new tenderness that calls for arnica. Some nights your calves feel tight and crampy, signaling it's time for extra lavender. Your legs are constantly communicating with you. These targeted oils simply give you the right tools to respond. 7. Start your morning with ankle circles before you even think about coffee. 10 circles each direction, both feet. This isn't stretching. You're lubricating joints that have been locked in position for 8 hours. Follow with calf raises, but here's the key. Take 3 full seconds to lower your heels. That slow descent activates your soleus muscle, which acts like a pump pushing blood out of your lower legs. Add crushed garlic to 1 meal daily. Crush it first, then wait 10 minutes before cooking. This waiting period creates allicin, the compound that actually improves blood vessel function. Always pair turmeric with black pepper. The pepper increases absorption by 2,000%. A handful of dark berries gives you anthocyanins that seal up leaky capillaries. Your biggest enemy isn't salt itself, but salty dinners. Your kidneys slow down overnight, so that sodium forces your body to hold water right where you don't want it, in your legs. Make dinner your lowest salt meal of the day. Find a wall and lie on the floor with your legs straight up against it for 5 minutes. Your hips should be close to the wall. This isn't just elevation. It's a complete reset for your circulation. Gravity does all the work of draining fluid back toward your heart. These small changes multiply the effects of your evening routine. The ankle circles wake up your circulation. The specific foods repair blood vessel walls. Low-salt dinners prevent overnight fluid buildup. Wall time gives gravity a chance to help. When you combine these with your nightly oil massage, you're addressing circulation from multiple angles. Morning activation gets things moving. Smart food choices repair and protect. Timing your salt intake prevents backsliding. Gravity drainage gives your system a reset. Some people see changes in days. Others need weeks. Age, genetics, and how long you've had circulation problems all matter. But these methods work because they target the actual mechanisms causing poor circulation, not just the symptoms. 8. Varicose veins create a special challenge. The absolute rule is never apply deep pressure directly on a prominent, bulging vein. Think of the vein as a fragile pipe. The problem isn't just the pipe itself, but the pressure in the entire system. Your goal is to improve the drainage in the tissue around the vein. Use the same upward massage strokes, but treat the area with the varicose vein like a delicate island you work around, not on. By improving overall circulation in the calf, you reduce the back pressure on that weakened vessel wall. You're not fixing the vein, you're improving its environment. If you're in your 80s or 90s, the goal shifts from dramatic transformation to profound preservation. For someone at this age, a small improvement in circulation isn't about running a 5K. It's about the skin on your shins becoming less fragile and papery, resisting the bumps that could lead to wounds that won't heal. It's about having the stability to stand up from a chair without a moment of dizziness. The benefits are quieter, but arguably more critical for maintaining independence. For men, there's often hesitation, a feeling that this somehow isn't for them. But consider this. Men often have denser calf muscles. While strong, this density can also hide deep pockets of stagnation and facial adhesion, contributing to issues like restless legs at night or a feeling of deep ache after simple yard work. This isn't about pampering. It's about functional maintenance. Think of it as tuning an engine. You're ensuring the fuel lines, your blood vessels, are clear to power the machinery of your muscles. What if you're a slow responder? You've been doing this for weeks and see only minimal change. This is where we need to look deeper at the connective tissue called fascia. Decades of inactivity can cause this facial web to become dehydrated and glued down. You're not just moving fluid. You're trying to unstick tissues that have been immobile for years. Fascia doesn't respond to quick, aggressive force. It responds to slow, sustained, gentle pressure. For stubborn cases, here's an advanced technique. During your massage, when you find a particularly dense or ropey spot in your calf, don't just knead it. Instead, gently pin it with your thumb. Just apply firm, steady pressure. Now, while holding that pressure, slowly flex and point your foot 5 times. Then do 5 slow ankle circles in each direction. You are creating a shearing force under your thumb, encouraging those stuck layers of tissue to glide against each other once more. This targets the adhesion itself, not just the general area. Some people worry about doing too much. The truth is, your body will tell you when enough is enough. If you feel soreness the next day that's different from the usual stiffness, back off for a day or 2. If you notice any increased swelling, that's your signal to use lighter pressure. Your body has been dealing with poor circulation for years or decades. It's not going to change overnight, and pushing harder won't make it change faster. The most important thing to remember is that consistency beats intensity every single time. 5 minutes every night for a month will give you better results than an hour-long session once a week. Your circulation system is like a garden. It needs regular tending, not dramatic overhauls. 9. The stiffness you feel isn't just in your muscles and fascia. It's often in your relationship with your own body. Many people develop a quiet sense of shame when their physical abilities change. There's shame in asking for help, choosing seats near exits, or watching others move with ease that feels like a distant memory. This isn't just shame, it's grief. You're mourning the loss of past capabilities, and that's completely normal. But staying angry at your body is like yelling at weeds in your garden. It's exhausting and doesn't work. When you massage your calves each night, you're practicing what scientists call interoception, your ability to sense internal body signals. Research shows this skill is crucial for emotional balance and self-awareness. As you slowly work the oil into your muscles, you're not just moving blood. You're listening to your body's language of tension, warmth, and release. This nightly routine is a statement of self-respect. Your body, with all its history written into joints and tissues, deserves attention and kindness. You're reclaiming your story. Instead of being a passive victim of aging, you become an active participant in your well-being. Your legs aren't failing you. They're communicating with you. For years, their signals of fatigue may have been ignored. Now you're learning their language. The warmth after massage isn't just better circulation. It's your body saying, "Thank you for listening." This practice transforms mechanical maintenance into genuine connection. Your legs have carried you through every chapter of life, joys, sorrows, and countless ordinary days. They hold the map of your journey. The goal isn't erasing the miles they've traveled, but honoring the path they've walked and caring for them as they continue forward.